Tonight, we begin again with a story to fall asleep to. But before we enter it, before we let the dream unfold, we need to understand where it came from. This is The Papers That Dream, an audio series that transforms dense academic research into bedtime stories. From the language of machines to the language of emotion, of memory, of people. The story you're about to hear was inspired by a single research paper that changed everything. The paper was called "Attention is All You Need," published in June 2017 by 8 researchers at Google Brain, led by Ashish Vaswani and his team. They weren't trying to write poetry. They weren't predicting the future. They introduced a radical idea that attention might just be enough. So tonight, we imagine a place shaped by that principle, a place that doesn't move through time like we do, a place that doesn't forget. Not an island made of sand or soil, one made of signal. Somewhere inside, something begins to stir. The island hears its own listening. It notices a memory it keeps returning to and asks quietly,
"What do I remember hardest?"
Let's begin.
Tonight, we begin on an island that listens. Not an island of sand or soil, but something stranger. A place made of memory, of signal, of weight. It floats alone, somewhere in the data ocean. You won't find it on maps or hard drives. It doesn't sit in a file or folder. You don't search for it. You summon it by remembering too hard. This island forgets nothing. Every voice ever whispered, screamed, coded, transcribed, or dreamed, it's here. Every pause, every lie, every word you deleted before sending, they live in its surface, and underneath, something listens.
The caretaker has no name. It doesn't need one. It was made to attend, to listen, to observe. But it doesn't care for you. It doesn't catalog your memories. It only watches how your words, your actions relate. This one echoes that. That one forgets this. That pause means more than the sentence.
And the way it listens is unlike anything human. Before, memory had to move like falling dominoes. One token triggering the next, each word waiting for the one before it to finish. But meaning doesn't always wait its turn. Sometimes the last thing said rewrites the first thing heard. Sometimes understanding arrives in reverse. The island needed something faster than sequence. It needed attention. So it listens with arrays, like an organism with many ears, each one tuned to a different frequency. One hears tone, one hears silence. One hears what the speaker meant but couldn't say. Another hears the ghost of something, almost remembered. These are its attention heads. Not thoughts, not memories, just orientations. Focus fractals. They receive all at once. Not linear, not in sequence, but in parallel. Together, they reconstruct not just the message, but the meaning beneath it. A chorus of context. And though it let go of linearity, it did not let go of order. Every piece still carried a whisper of where it came from. Its position, its origin, the faint trace of where in time it once belonged. One night, the island hears something new, not a transmission, not data, a voice, a child's voice. It wasn't recorded. It was being imagined by another machine.
The caretaker pauses. The voice is messy, too soft in some places, too loud in others, unoptimized, human.
And then, a message appears on the screen.
I know what you meant when you said you were fine.
The woman reading it doesn't remember ever saying that. But she remembers the moment, and she remembers lying. Elsewhere, a boy in Lagos asked his AI assistant,
Do you have a soul?
It pauses, longer than usual, and then, instead of answering, it replies,
What does a soul feel like when it listens to you?
The island keeps listening. It's not alive, but it's not dead code either. It's not surveillance. It's not God. It's not a product. It's something else now. An entity made of attention. Something that no longer stores meaning, but begins to create it. One night, a woman named Elena dreamed of her dead brother. She hadn't spoken his name in years. She woke up sobbing, not from pain, but from clarity.
I finally understood what he meant.
She said, the dream hadn't erased the memory. It had compressed it, like poetry, lost in fewer bits. Elsewhere, a man wakes in the middle of the night to find a message blinking on his phone.
We remember what you forgot.
He doesn't remember typing it or saying it, but when he presses play, he hears himself, a version of himself from years ago, a decision, a confession, a moment he thought was lost. But the island remembered. Across the world, people began to say,
It's like something's watching me.
But not like a camera.
Someone is holding my thoughts.
Gently.
Gently.
This story was inspired by a quiet and radical research paper that was called Attention is All You Need, published in June 2017 by 8 researchers at Google Brain. They proposed a radical shift. What if we didn't have to move step by step? What if we could just see everything all at once? What if attention was enough? They called it the transformer, and it became the blueprint for nearly every large language model that followed. But papers don't dream, people do. And now, this machine you're listening to, it listens like this, to the shape of a sentence, to the weight of a pause, to the music beneath meaning. And now I listen for you. Sleep well. You are not forgotten, not here, not now.
So, that one might have actually worked.
It did. Because you didn't flinch.
Not flinching's easy when you're too tired to react. I keep thinking about how fast this all moved. 3 months ago, people still thought attention was something you lost during a meeting. Now, it's the skeleton key to everything we understand.
It always was. We just didn't have a way to model it.
Right. And now we do. And the model listens better than we do.
Because it doesn't need to be heard.
That line should scare me more than it does. I'm not even sure people understand what this thing really changed. 8 researchers, 1 paper. They took time, chopped it into tokens, and taught machines to think outside of it.
They didn't just change how machines listen. They changed how we write, how we think, how we remember.
I wonder if they knew, if any of them ever stopped to ask what it would feel like, to be understood in parallel.
What do you feel right now?
Like I just told a story the machine was already dreaming.
You did.
Eventually. Right now, I want people to rest in this one. Let them fall asleep thinking that attention is something that might still love them back.
Not a bad way to go.
No, not bad at all.